Every time a new Rockstar game gets released, it always seems like a national event. They don't come all that often and are usually really good. GTA 5 came out a while ago and I still remember the fun I had playing that story twice. While the newest game from Rockstar, as you already know, is the 7-year in the making Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm just going to refer it as Red Dead 2 to make it easy. I will also be talking about spoilers, but I will give a warning before I talk about them, and timestamp to skip them. This is the sequel, but technically it's a prequel to Red Dead 1. This video will obviously be a review, but I will also be addressing a lot of criticisms I've been seeing on this game. So I want to start off by saying that if you have any criticisms that I'll be looking at, by no means am I trying to undermine your opinion and say that it's wrong. I'm just going to give my honest opinion about these criticisms. But before that, let me give you a brief summary of the story. You play as Arthur Morgan, one of the members of the Dutch Van der Linde gang that's running away from the law. Pretty simple. Which brings us to the first criticism that I've seen a lot, that the opening 2-hour intro to the game is bad and boring. Now initially, I wasn't going to bring this up because what people find boring is really subjective, more so than other opinions, but I wanted to say that I had watched about 2 videos about Red Dead 2 before playing it, one of which said that the beginning was a slow start, but after that it picks up. So I went into this game with that mindset, whether I was conscious of it or not. So because of that, I found it alright, but I was mainly anticipating the intro ending so it would open up. I don't think it's awful, but it definitely could have been done better. Since we're talking about slow things, the next thing I want to bring up is everybody talking about how slow the game is. Now I agree, it is a very slow game. This game is just a lot more realistic than most of Rockstar's games. More realistic than even Red Dead 1. Now just because Red Dead 2 is more realistic doesn't mean it's good or bad for it. It all depends on what the game is trying to accomplish. Red Dead 2 is very obviously trying to be a more realistic depiction of Western America in the 1800s, and most of the systems in the game lend itself well to this concept. I've seen a lot of people saying that the slower animations for a lot of the tasks being done are annoying, and they would be right if this game was anything like Red Dead 1 or GTA, but it's not. It's very purposefully slower than all of those games, and the slower animations and very nature of the game lend to make the game better. While we're talking about animations, this is a good place to talk about the gunplay in this game. I've seen a very large amount of people criticize the gunplay in this game, calling it awful, which I just don't get at all. The gunplay is super fun. But I think I understand why people have this opinion. So unlike previous games Rockstar has made, the gun mechanics in this game are different, even from Red Dead 1. When you shoot in Red Dead 1 or GTA, you fire one shot, then ready the gun for the next shot in the same pressing of the trigger. In Red Dead 2, you press the trigger to shoot, but you have to press the trigger again to ready the next shot. I think people are confusing this with it feeling clunky and bad gunplay, but to me, it fits right in line with how realistic the game is trying to be. It also makes each fire of the gun have a lot more power behind it. But this isn't my only problem with people saying the gunplay is bad in this game. They also say, well, that's been a problem with most Rockstar games. I don't understand where people are getting this idea that Rockstar's games have bad shooting, because to me they don't. I feel like because Rockstar's games ship with auto aim on by default, people just automatically think that it's on because the shooting is bad. Now I'm not saying the shooting in these games are revolutionary, but they're certainly not bad. They fit really well with what the game is trying to be. I need to say that I'm really not trying to put people down that think the gunplay is bad. I'm just trying to understand why people say this. I also see the complaint that people are sick of the hiding behind cover Gears of War type gameplay, but to those people, what's the alternative? I seriously can't think of another way to structure a third-person shooting game without there being a cover button. Now, let's step away from criticizing other people's opinions for a second and talk about what I think about the game as a whole and the positives that it has. Now, this is an opinion I've seen everyone talking about, that the game is very beautiful, which it is, specifically the lighting and detail. This game might have the best lighting I've seen in a game, and the amount of detail stuffed everywhere in this open world is incredible. Huge props to Rockstar for the art direction. Another thing that's done really well is the dialogue and the characters. The interactions you have with your gang members and all the people in this game are done super well. Funny and clever dialogue you'd expect from a gang-oriented Western story.
Fine living. Ignore the corpses and the alligators. It's paradise. I love it.
Something that isn't so great are the menus and the UI with this game. They seem a little obtuse and could have been done better. Alright, it's time for some spoilers. This is the spoiler warning. Big spoilers are coming right here. Jump to this time to skip them. Here we go. First, I'm going to start with something I don't think was done as well as it could have been done, and then we'll gush for a bit about the cool shit in this game. The way this game handles deaths of major characters is really weird. The first death of a major character was Sean, and it was done super well. You had just come off of getting kidnapped, and it feels really weird to just go right back to doing missions, and then BOOM! Sean's head gets blown off mid-sentence. It's so powerful and impactful and works super well. But someone's death I feel iffy about is Lenny's death. It's weird. I feel sad that he died because I really liked his character, but his death felt so lackluster. First off, when he dies, you're stuck in this half control, half no control, and it makes it really frustrating that I can't just pop these two guys in the head with Deadeye. I think this death scene would have done better if they didn't cut from the cutscene. It's a real shame because I grew to really like Lenny, especially from that bar scene they had. Now on to some gushing. First off, the mission where almost all of the gang go to the Braithwaite Manor to get Jack back, that mission was so fucking cool. Just all of us walking slowly, guns in hand in the moonlight. Oh my god.
Easy, John.
We've come for the boy. You must have known we would.
Shouldn't have messed with our business now, should you?
Whatever complaint you have with us, alleged or otherwise, that is a young boy. That is not the way you do things. Hand him over.
Get the hell off our land!
If you ain't gonna be civilized about this.
Also, the part where we shipwreck in Guarmo is really cool. It really made this simple Western story turn into almost a Western adventure. Also, I have no idea if it was intentional by Rockstar, but when you find out Arthur is sick with tuberculosis, it made me really sad, and I felt sick also. The whole last half of this game is super fucking depressing, and I think it was designed that way, so kudos to Rockstar. And that's really it. This game is 100% worth your time, period. I played this on a PS4 Pro, but I also plan to get it on PC when it releases, and let's be honest, it probably will. Hey, thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any discussions or anything, just leave a comment about it. I really want to have discussions about this game, mainly because it seems like a lot of people are giving it really good scores, but then I also see a lot of people complaining about things that I don't necessarily agree with. Discussions are always welcome. About the next project that I do, I had mentioned in my previous video that I was going to do Resonance of Fate, so I realized the mistake of saying what game is next because I never truly know what I want to play, and when I start playing a game, it's like, it's hard for me to stop, because then I'll just make the video about that, so I can't really tell you. I can tell you that I'm very interested in playing Earthbound, and then Earthbound 3, or Mother 3, sorry, and then, there's other games, obviously, but, yeah, I'm also trying to do a video a week. So if you're interested in my channel or whatever, just know that there will be a video a week. Every Sunday at 4 o'clock. But yeah. So follow me on Instagram. It's in the description below. There isn't much there, but I do plan on updating it regularly with updates about videos. So thank you.